Welcome in to the Kia of Anniston, Oxford. Coach Sam Adams Show, Oxford football preview/review. Coach, last year we got to know you a little bit. I really thank these guys for bringing you out and doing the coaches show here as well. Last year we did Anniston. Now we're going to be able to be fortunate enough by these guys' grace to do you guys and Anniston, which is going to be great for the city and the county here. Coach, let's dive right into it. It's game week. A little bit different preparation, a little bit more pep in the step of the guys and the coaches. We talked to you in the preseason video, but get us up to speed where you are now as opposed to them.
So we're coming off of our Jamboree week. Last week we went up to James Clemens in Madison, Alabama, and took on James Clemens High School, who was number 5 in 7A at the end of last year, 10-0 before they got knocked out in the first round, and a really well thought of program in the state, and our guys played really well. The first half of that game was varsity football, live everything, and we were up 14-0 at the half in that game, and really played really well on both sides of the ball. And second half was mixing in some backup kind of guys, and we're able to. The final score is 14-7, but it's a valuable experience for us. And we still played, I think, 12 freshmen and sophomores in the first half of the game. Now, some of those guys had experience last year, so they're not your normal freshmen and sophomores. But I thought we responded well and really controlled the game from beginning to end.
Coach, how valuable was that last year to get those guys, not just reps, but actual game reps that mean things? Meaning these guys actually went out and won the region last year with such a young nucleus.
Yeah, there's no way to replicate a real game situation in practice. I mean, they can go out and run the same plays and all that, but it's just different when you're under the lights on Friday nights and you got the bands there and the crowd's there and the pressure's on a lot more. And that's something that we're now seeing the benefits of. And between their experience last year and the way we played last week, I think our confidence is up and we're rolling in the right direction.
Coach, when you went out and scheduled that game with James Clemens, they've been a dominant team, especially not only in that area but in 7A for a while. There's no backseat. You guys don't take a backseat to anybody at Oxford. When you go out and schedule some teams like that, what are the things you're looking for? Obviously, there got to be things, because anybody could go schedule an easy victory, but you schedule somebody to challenge you. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the objective of setting up your schedule is really to be playing your best football when late October, November, early December rolls around, when you're into those playoff hunts. So in doing that, I want our guys to be exposed in any way they can be. If we have any kind of faults or flaws, we want to know that as we go along, so we're not blindsided by anything. So we have time to make the corrections on the things that we need. We also have time to kind of form our personality as a team, figure out what are the things that we are really good at, what can we lean on as we go through, so that we're playing our best at the end of the season.
Now, Coach, this is actual game week here, so it's
yes.
Go time. Talk about how that looks a little bit different than what these guys have been accustomed to this summer.
Yeah, so now we are on a normal game prep, so some of our practices are actually a little bit shorter than they were in the summer. So I'm not a believer in long practices. I mean, we're not going to be out there more than 2 hours on any day. So for us, Monday is about an hour and a half practice. We're in just helmet and shoulder pads on that, so we do get some contact, but not full. Tuesdays we do go full gear for about 2 hours. And it's a very similar pattern to practice. We just spend a little bit more time on our team sessions, and we're able to kind of work a few guys both ways. We don't do that a lot, but really it's kind of emergency type situations. Wednesday we go back to an hour and a half kind of prep, and then Thursday we're on and off the field in maybe 45 minutes or so. So I mean, I believe in you guys getting on the field, getting off, getting our work in, and at the same time having fresh legs on Friday night, so we're full go and we're full of energy.
I remember back when you and I played, it was full pads every day, even on Thursday.
Yeah.
Things have changed a lot, but I think it's for the betterment of the game and the health of these kids.
I mean, I think a lot of people can do the full gear thing for a week or 2 weeks at a time, but once you get into week 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's just a lot of wear and tear on the body. And, you got to try to stay fresh in order to stay injury-free. And that's a big part of it.
Now, Coach, you're going to have a little bit of depth at some positions this year. Just let's start on the offensive end for those who didn't get to watch the preseason video. Talk about what that offense is going to look like this year.
So we are, we definitely have a lot different personality than what we had last year. We've had a lot of development at the receiver positions. Last week, Nick Richardson had 5 catches, I believe. He's new to our program and a really skilled route runner, sophomore. Judd Sire is a returning starter at the receiver spot from last year. He's a junior this year, but really a much better version of himself than he was last year. Then Friday, Jayden Lewis, who's new into our program, who was more of a basketball player in years past. Is a 6'4" kid that's got still really young in the game. He's still developing, but he got a start at receiver. DK Wilson really plays a hybrid kind of role for us, plays slot receiver and running back in the backfield. And then Jaden Thomas is returning starter at running back. And last week Mason Mims made his first start for us at quarterback, and had a really, really efficient game. And we threw it 20 times in the first half, and 17 out of the 20 were right on target and made really good decisions in the run game and the pass game and got the ball where it needed to go.
That's huge, man, to have a guy come in, kind of fresh like that and come out of the gate hot like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you got some targets out there and multiple targets, so they can't key in on one guy, and that's huge.
That helps us spread the ball around. I mean, I don't think any guy got more than maybe 6-7 touches in the game, and so that just makes the defense have to defend the whole field. And our offensive line, we had some returning starters there. Jackson Bunn's a returning starter at tackle for us. Jaden Rawls, a returning starter at guard. And then we're breaking in some new guys in there with Curtis Sanders at center and Kevin Weed at guard. And so we're coming along really quickly in that area. I think those guys are starting to get a lot of confidence in what we're asking them to do, and they really controlled the line of scrimmage on the offensive side for us.
Let's flip it over and talk about that defense. Some new faces over there as well, but these guys seem to be athletic and can fly the ball.
Yeah, up front we have a lot of familiar faces. Josiah Kimbrough is a returning starter at defensive end. Keenan Britt started some games and played a lot for us last year as an 8th grader. He's now in a starting role. Xavier DeRamus and Caleb Tenner are both getting reps at our nose position. And those are Caleb is a sophomore, and DeRamus is a senior that's kind of waited his time and really played really well last Friday night. Is making the most out of it. The opportunity he's getting. Donovan Jones got a lot of reps in there at defensive end. Inside backers, you got Mike Battle, who's a returning starter and started some 2 seasons ago. Hudson Gilman, 2 sport guys at the other inside backer. We started a freshman at outside backer, and Michael Garrett, who had a couple of really huge plays in the game. He's got Sunday kind of potential ahead of him. And Braden Cochran played the other outside backer. We really played 4 outside backers total. Talon Edwards and Justin Bowen got in there as well. The back end is where we have really probably the most new faces. You got Amari Carroll, who was a starter on both sides of the ball for us last year. He was at safety and can also play corner. Eli Bozeman was a starter for us at receiver last year. He started at safety. And then Cedric Twyman and Christian Gibson started at both the corner spots last week. And Christian is new to our program, had been involved and still is involved in basketball and track. So we got him out. He's growing really quickly, and Twyman was a sophomore that's really coming along fast.
Still some young guys over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It's unbelievable. Now, Coach, the X factor I always talk to coaches about is special teams.
Yeah,
that can win and lose games, especially in a tight game.
Sure.
Let's talk about special teams a little bit.
Well, our kicker is a returning starter for us, and Ray Barrera was our place kicker all year last year. Had probably the play of the year for us with the last second field goal over Arab, which kept us in the region championship hunt. Really our season kind of hung in the balance at that time, and he made a huge kick. Punter is Eli Bozeman, who I mentioned earlier, is a starting safety, and so also Eli can also play quarterback. So having that kind of guy at punter that is not just a typical kicker that has a big skill set, opens some doors for you back there.
These other teams can't just turn their back and run down the field blocking either.
That is correct. That is correct.
I didn't say that. All right, Coach. So you got McAdory this week, and I know you're familiar with their coach.
Yeah.
And I know you've looked at film. Tell us a little bit about McAdory for those who don't know.
They're a really good team. I'm really familiar with that program. They were in the region with us at Hillcrest, where I was there for 7 years before coming to Oxford last season. So played a lot of games against that program. They're always really athletic. They're really physical. A lot of tough, hard-nosed kids out there. Head coach Arvia Holmes is a really good friend of mine and a great coach. We were on staff together at Hoover in 2012 and 13. They've got weapons at a lot of positions. They're a good quarterback that finished out the year last year. The starter at the beginning of the year last year tore his ACL or had some kind of knee injury, and this kid finished out the year, so he's not making his first start. And he's really, you can tell watching him in their spring game, he had gotten a lot better from the end of the season last year. They got one big receiver, he's about 6'7", who has a lot of offers, Tennessee, Auburn, etc. A lot of big ones. They have a big offensive tackle that's got a Michigan State offer. Running backs got some kind of group of 5 or maybe a little bit smaller offers, Mercer, those kind of things. So they've got some definite threats out there, and that's a place that takes a lot of pride in their football. And they'll travel well over here on Friday, and it'll be a great atmosphere.
So they're good at multiple positions, obviously,
yes,
and up front. So
yes,
you got to be prepared. Coach Cochran will have his hands full with these.
He will. Yeah.
But if anybody needs to have their hands full, Coach, he can figure it out.
He's one of the best.
Flip that thing over, Coach. What does their defense look like?
So they are personnel. They have a new defensive coordinator who came from Demopolis last year. So we're kind of sorting through, watching different kinds of film. One set of film to look at who their players are, another set to kind of look at schematics. They base out of a 3-4 type front with a lot of different variations on alignments in the front on the front end from their defensive line. So in some ways they're very similar to our defense we go against in practice and James Clemens that we saw last week. But they definitely have a different personality on the back end coverage wise, and I think they're gonna different than James Clemens anyway. I would expect them to challenge us some with some man coverage and really make us have to defeat some pressure and win some one-on-one routes.
No doubt. Coach, for those who are going to be attending the game, ticket information, what does that look like this year?
Everything is on GoFan. Yes, sir. Everything is on GoFan. So we will not be selling paper tickets at the gate. But so you have to go either download the app or work off of the website there. It's gofan.co, I believe, not .com. I believe that's still the same thing as it was last year. So that's how you get in the gate.
And when we talked to you last time, you wasn't sure. Maybe you are sure or got a clearer picture now. Parking, what is that going to look like?
I do not know.
Still don't know. Well, I mean, it's intriguing. It's a good thing to have, though, because what you guys have going on over there, but still don't know. Maybe the school could update that on Friday.
So we still have, obviously, the big construction going on the end of the school. We have other construction going on the opposite end, the south end zone, closest to Highway 78. That's going to be a new stadium entrance, and that is not going to be finished either by the time that Friday gets here for the game. So we're still kind of sorting through all that, how the gates are going to work, and all that kind of stuff. And we don't have a lot of parking, period, even on a normal situation. So it's kind of every man for himself on the parking.
Gotcha. Well, you can park here at Kia in Anniston, Oxford.
There you
buy
go.
your car and then take it to the game. But
right.
Coach, I appreciate you sitting in on the first ever Sam Adams show. And here again, can't thank these guys enough at Anniston Oxford Kia. What they've done for not only high school sports, but the community in general here. And Coach, appreciate you and good luck on Friday.
Thank you very much. Go Big O.